An NSCAA member since 1981, Joe Cummings was the association's president in 2004. His career has touched soccer at every level of the game, from youth club teams to the men's and women's professional ranks. He comes to the NSCAA from the Boston Breakers, where he was president and general manager. He held the same position for the club's tenure under the WUSA banner from 2000 to 2003, twice earning the league's Executive of the Year award. He also served 2 stints with the New England Revolution of Major League Soccer, first as its assistant general manager, then as technical director. Cummings began his coaching career more than 30 years ago by founding the Northborough, Massachusetts Youth Soccer Association. His coaching resume includes high school league and district championships and a Regional Coach of the Year award. As the men's coach at College of the Holy Cross, he matched the school's record for single-season wins in his second year. Joe Cummings, new CEO and Executive Director of the NSCAA. Welcome to Kansas City.
Thanks a lot, Craig.
What was your first impression when you walked in the doors of this new building, our new home?
I had not been to the office before, and I was awestruck. It's absolutely beautiful. The design, the setup, it captures the architecture. I mean, we're right here in the city, surrounded by the government buildings, so it feels pretty cool. It makes you feel really important.
You've had a long history with the NSCAA, stretching back 30 years, and now you're running the show. What went through your mind as you went into the process of applying for this position and then finally achieving it?
That it was the perfect opportunity for me at this point in my professional career. And the other thing that made it so exciting, Craig, was that I knew all the people. You know, obviously I'm coming into a situation that I'm very, very familiar with. As you said, I've been a member for 3 decades, but I've worked with many of the people in the office, so it was an easy decision.
Several years ago, at the convention where you were the president in Baltimore, you told a story during our wrap get-together about a moment that you started to appreciate the history of the NSCAA with a dear friend who unfortunately passed in the last year, Whitey Burnham. Could you tell that story?
Sure. I was sitting at my very first convention, and there weren't as many designated seating areas, so I ended up sitting beside Whitey, who of course is one of the legends of the game and a legend within the association. I didn't know who he was, and as I went through the dinner, I started to notice his name on quite a few awards, and I realized that I was sitting with someone that was very special. And as we got to the last award, the honor award, I was getting ready to leave because it had been a long banquet. And Whitey very calmly and very fatherly put his hand on my shoulder and said to me, "Son, you might want to stay and listen to this." And that was the very first honor award that I saw Cliff McGrath present. And when I heard the history of the recipient, and I began to appreciate and to understand what the association was all about. If it weren't for Whitey, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Speaking of right now and moving forward, what's the game plan? What are your priorities as you step into this new position?
There are 3 overriding priorities. The first is membership. This association has, as we well know, just rocketed in the past few years. I mean, during my presidency, I jokingly set 20,000 as a membership goal in 2004 and 2005, and I thought that number was, not reachable. I mean, I just set it as something we would strive for, and now look at, we're approaching 30,000. So membership is very much the first thing. The second will be education. I mean, obviously more members, more education, and then when they really want to advance beyond the education of the courses, then they can experience the convention. So those 3 things in the convention, with all of its trappings, those 3 things are really what I'm going to focus in on. Membership first, education, and the convention.
Any specific plans, promotions, things like that you want to focus on?
I think the convention, first of all, for us, is going to go through a transition. Obviously, those types of events are going through a little bit of a transition. So we want to try and use the convention as a vehicle to reach out to a level of coach that maybe we haven't serviced as well, whether it be through the evaluation of how we do presentations, or whether it be advancing into a more viral approach. There are a lot of things that I think we could do creatively at the convention. As far as membership is concerned, we really want to grow that. Somebody asked me in the past 2 weeks, and I said 100,000 members. I mean, I want to talk about an association that has 100,000 members. And that's the one that I think that we'll focus in on that side, that number, that's that next goal. And then from an education standpoint, we know where we are in the United States. We're the leading provider of coach education, and I want to continue to make sure that we explore ways to educate coaches in the United States.
You used a word there, viral. I know coming from the Breakers and WPS, they put a lot of emphasis on the social networking outreach programs. Mm-hmm. Is that on your agenda?
Oh, it sure is. I mean, I not a blogger, but I love the fact that I can tweet on a daily basis, that I can take a little bit of information and get it out through Twitter, get it out to a constituent group, and I want to see that explode. I mean, with the Breakers, there were hundreds of people that were following what was the general manager of the Breakers doing, and I want to get the number with the NSCAA up into hundreds of, into thousands, so that people understand what's happening within our walls as their dedication to the membership and our dedication to them. We want to be able to give them information on a regular basis. So yes, we will be doing a lot virally.
And that Twitter address?
Is NSCAA CEO, and it's lowercase NSCAA and then capital letters CEO.
Joe, welcome aboard. We look forward to working with you.
Thanks a lot, Craig.